All right. So let's talk about the kids a little bit.
Okay.
Are today's kids really so different than when you were a child?
Absolutely.
Mm, let's
Absolutely.
get into it.
So I feel like there's definitely similarities in when I was a kid. Obviously, there was kids who acted out and there was kids who, were well behaved. But I do feel like with the addition of social media
Mm,
and the addition of
yeah.
access to technology, they're exposed to
Oh, yeah.
way too many things that
Yeah.
they shouldn't have been exposed to at that young of an age. But as well as the community that they live in, they're
Yeah.
exposed to that as well on a day-to-day basis. So it's unfortunate to see, but I think that's where we have to step in as educators to show them that that's not the path for you.
Right.
That's not the true path. You're meant to go to school and do your work. That is your job.
Right.
And you're full time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You
That's
don't
your
get
only
paid.
job. Yeah.
Exactly. It's your only job. So it does concern me because I just feel like they're being robbed of the childhood that they should have because of that exposure. Because the more you learn and the more you know about when it comes to the more adult stuff in life, it's kind of
Yeah.
like taking them out of that
Yeah.
innocent bubble of being a child to focus on their work. And some of them think that they're grown at a young age,
Yeah. Yeah.
which obviously every child has a phase where they think that they're grown at a young age,
Right.
but to a certain
Right.
extent,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Understood.
So
Okay. That's tough. And so we talked about the kids. Let's talk about the hardest part of your job that no one talks about.
the hardest part
Mm,
is knowing kids' situations, and it's the situations that you really can't do much about
mm. So the
um,
things that happen outside of school.
outside of
Outside of
school.
school. Okay.
There's obviously like resources and support at the school to help, but me as their science teacher, like I can't just buy them a whole wardrobe.
Yeah.
I can't pay for them to go on a vacation to an island just so they can get out of the Bronx.
Yeah.
So those are just some small situations, or like when they have family issues. Like everybody has family issues, and I know what that's like to deal with that
Yeah.
and not be able to really express it fully.
Mhm.
And I can't come into their home and be a counselor for
Right.
them. So though that's one of the hardest
Yeah.
part is that really can't help them.
Mhm.
And I would say on the other side, for like from a personal aspect, is that sometimes you're an emotional punching bag for some of the
I
kids.
can see that. Yeah.
So they're acting out and sometimes they can get very disrespectful. But I honestly think that behavior is communication.
Mhm.
So they're communicating that right now I'm not okay. And you're just the person that I feel comfortable taking it out on.
Right.
And it's hard because at the end of the day, I am human
Mhm.
and I don't want to, lash out or give them the same energy they gave me back because I know they are kids and they just
Mhm.
don't know how to regulate their emotions.
Yeah.
But it's still hard
Yeah.
to deal with
Absolutely.
because you come in on such a high energy and you're so happy to be at work and you're so
Yeah.
happy to interact with the kids and you have all these fun activities for them to do and then some kids are just, going through it
Yeah.
and they express that
Mhm.
to you.
Yeah.
So it can be hard,
Yeah.
but you just have to,
Yeah.
make sure you're filling your cup, doing your self-care, relying on your coworkers,
Yeah.
expressing yourself.
Mhm.
If you go to therapy, see your therapist, whatever you have to do to
Right.
make sure that you're at 100%. It just comes with the job.
Yeah. And that's the same advice I give to adults in the workspace because even as an adult, you're carrying weight. There's things that
Mhm.
are going on outside of the work four walls and inside of your home four walls
Mhm.
that spills over into your job. And then, someone says something to you, whether it's a direct report, one of your colleagues or your leader, and all of a sudden you see a side or version of them that you have not seen that's completely outside of character. So that's just like a lifelong thing. And the sooner in age you formulate ways to kind of like balance that, the better off you're going to be as you continue to grow. But I don't think it goes away. I think it just shows up in different ways. Like
Absolutely.
the issues that you have just change, but something's always going on. Life just be lifing,
It does.
And so life is just, it just doesn't stop lifing. It just lifes differently, and you just have to be able to adjust. So if
And
that's
cope.
something you can teach them at that age, hopefully as they get into their collegiate years and then their careers, they're better equipped to manage those emotions. But it's difficult.
100%.
It's
And
difficult
I
with
tell them all the
human.
time. I tell them all the time is that if, say, they're disrespectful and they get removed from class, I don't ever remove a child without following up.
Gotcha.
Because why am I going to allow this to fester and they come in the next day? The next day, I'm going to act like it's a clean slate.
Yeah.
However, you can't start a clean slate without a conversation. So I always follow up with them and I tell them, I say this to every student the exact same way, is I understand, like, because they always tell me, oh, I was dealing with this, I was dealing with that.
Yeah.
And I try to tell them is that you have to communicate that then. When I'm not feeling 100% and I tell them, hey guys, I only have 30% today. I had a really rough weekend. I'm dealing with a lot at home. I don't have 100% to give you today. And everybody, they're very mellow that day.
Yeah.
Everybody knows like, okay, like this is not the day to try Mr. Farrell.
Right.
How am I supposed to know that when you don't communicate that?
Right.
I have to just go based off of your actions, but there's certain things when you're very disrespectful, I can't just
You can't let it
ignore
go.
that.
Yeah.
Because if I allow you to be disrespectful to me because you're going through it, everybody in the room is going to be disrespectful. And then where's the control? Where's the respect?
Yeah.
So communicate how you're feeling. If you're not feeling it, tell me at the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that we can address it. If you need a couple seconds to stand in the hallway, get yourself together, do that.
That's good. You give them an opportunity for you to extend them a little grace.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Because we're human at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so tell me about a student you'll never forget, or a student whose life you played a big hand in completely turning around.
Okay. So because I'm at a looping school and we have kids from 6th to 8th grade, this is the first year, because I started teaching in 2023, that I had a student from 6th to 8th grade. And honestly, I'll always remember all of my students. Every time I see them, I remember their names. Even students that I didn't teach but were in the school, I remember their names.
Yeah.
So once I see your face, I can just recall it. But specifically, I had one student who was a girl, and she was extremely quiet. She never really raised her hand, but outside of the classroom, she misbehaved so much.
Oh, wow.
She got into so much trouble. She participated in like fights and things like that. And I kind of just, talked to her and said, what do you want to do with your life?
Right.
Like, what is your aspiration? What do you hope for? And I really got to see her grow from 6th all the way to 8th grade, where she really started to lock in. And she told me straight up, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I don't see a lot of options for me. I don't even know if I'm going to like stay in high school all the way. I probably will drop out. And to hear that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Because you look at all your kids and you hope they all become millionaires. You hope they all become super blessed and they do everything they want in life and that they're happy. And I just kind of stayed with her. She said, I really am bad at science. I'm really bad at math. And I helped her. And I opened up my lunch period, not just to her, but to a bunch of other students on certain days of the week where they can just come up if they need it and ask for help. And they used it.
Yeah.
And I would always tell them, I'm not going to come and get you.
Right.
You have to come to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm offering you, I'm shaking my hand out, but if you don't give me the other hand, then there's nothing that can be done. A deal can't be made with one hand.
Yeah.
So seeing her grow and flourish and then telling me that she wants to be a labor and delivery nurse by 8th grade was huge for me.
That's growth.
That's
That is
huge for
awesome.
me.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel like if I had to think of just one student, that's the one story of many.
Yeah.
Like
That
there's
is
a lot of them
awesome.
like that. So
That is awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Look at you. I love that. All right. We're going to shift to parents. And I just really have one question about parents. What's the one thing that you wish every parent understood?
That we're on the same team.
Oh, that's good.
That we're on the same team. Yeah.
All right. Talk about that a little bit.
I think, growing up, especially in a Caribbean
Yeah.
household, what should a child
Easy
be?
now.
Right, right. Audience, what should a child be?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
seen and not heard. That was
Absolutely.
always a big thing.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of the students that I'm teaching are kind of from my generation or like that like 1990 to 2000 kind of period
Gotcha.
where their parents were born in those years. So they experienced kind of the same childhood that I experienced. And of course, every parent wants to break generational curses and things like that. But sometimes we can take it to an extreme
Yeah.
where everything our child says to us is their word is bond
Right.
and the child was at no fault.
Yep.
And sometimes everybody's looking for an enemy
Right.
and the obvious enemy is going to be the
The
teacher.
teacher.
So just I wish more parents understood that we're on the same team. We're
Yeah.
both wanting the best for your child and the child that you see at home is not always the same child that is in
Right.
the classroom.
Absolutely.
And I've witnessed it myself where I've had a student who was very disruptive, very disrespectful, but then the moment dad comes in or the moment mom comes in, it's like part of the royal
Right.
family.
You don't even recognize
Don't
that
even
child.
recognize.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and obviously if the child is acting like that, then the parent is very confused because
Right.
the parent is like, my child is this version
Right.
of themselves, but they
Yeah.
can't cope with the duality.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I definitely think, but there are a lot of parents who do understand that as well.
Right.
So I do want to give them a shout out because
Yeah.
they do, a lot of parents work with us and a lot of parents do not play at all. If I text them, they'll be at the school instead of, won't wait till they get home.
Right. Right.
So
That's the partnership that you need.
absolutely.
And I'm guilty, like your child comes home and they're like, oh, my teacher did XYZ. And you're like, what? And then you get the teacher's version, just like,
Yeah.
really?
Really?
So yeah, there's definitely balance there. You should hear your child out, but you also owe that teacher the same amount of time and respect to hearing them out. And you're right. It is a partnership. It takes a village. All right. So let's take a break and talk about these cups because we picked these cups very deliberately.
We did.
So you have Colombia, and mine doesn't say Japan, but it's definitely from my most recent trip to Japan, specifically Tokyo, where I had an amazing time. And so we're like, let's pick intentional cups because I travel a lot for work and I travel in my personal life because I just think the world is such a humongous place. There's so much culture, there's so much beauty, there's so many things to see in and outside of the United States. And so I do travel a lot. And everywhere that I go, I always get myself a mug. And in Japan, they don't really have a ton of cups that have a handle because you're supposed to hold it and take your time and drink your tea. And so I'm just so thrilled with my cup from Tokyo.
That is so beautiful.
How cute is that? How cute is that? Love it. All right. So tell me about why you chose Colombia.
Colombia. So I like to travel as well. I often travel with my friends. I just think it's something that everybody should do, especially living in my 20s. I feel like this is the time to go on trips where I might not want to sit on a flight for that long when I'm much older. So I went to Colombia in April for another one of my best friend, Luce's birthday. I met her in college. Shout out to Luce. Love you.
Luce.
And because we went for her birthday, we were just, having a good time doing what 20-year-olds do. And
enough said.
Enough said. And while we were out, at one of the clubs, we ended up meeting a few people and then we went on a boat. We did a boat tour there and we saw this group of girls and they were across from us. They were so fun. We ended up meeting them at another club. While they came back to our Airbnb and we were just talking, one of them was talking to me and she literally told me that she's a dental student in Boston.
Wow.
And I was just telling her about my passion, about how I really want to go to dental school at some point. And I just thought it was so, I don't know, divine,
Literally, look at God.
And look at God. What he does is truly amazing. And we just started talking about it. And I told her that I really want to get back into, preparing my application and things like that. And I've been studying for the dental entrance exam or admissions exam. And she kind of stayed in touch with me and she checks in with me periodically. Her name was Amina. Shout out to Amina.
Shout out to Amina.
And she checks in with me and she kind of holds me accountable. Nice. And I just feel like that was like one of the highlights of the trip for me,
Yeah.
is meeting somebody from the States who didn't know me
Yeah.
from a can of paint and is already pouring into my cup.
Yeah, very nice.
So I honestly had to pick Colombia. When I
Yes.
looked at all of her cups, I was like, Colombia. It was a great trip. The culture was
Yeah,
amazing. It was
yeah.
beautiful. Rooting for them in the World Cup.
Oh,
So
controversy. That is awesome. Yeah, everyone needs an accountability partner, especially if you have goals. Someone that will hold you accountable is key. And I like to say everyone needs a best friend at work, because those days, we're going to leave that there.
those
Having a
days.
best friend at work definitely helps. Definitely helps. So let's shift a little bit into leadership, because while your title is teacher, there's a lot of leadership components in being a teacher. So what has teaching taught you about leadership?
Okay. So that's like a complex answer for me because I grew up doing Boy Scouts.
Okay.
So I actually
Shout out to the Boy Scouts.
shout out to the Boy Scouts. I'm actually an Eagle Scout.
Oh, Eagle Scout.
So
Clock
yeah,
T.
clock that, because it was a lot of work. But I grew up in that program and I was exposed to a bunch of different things like campouts. We have a position called senior patrol leader. That's kind of like the president of like our troop. And I held that position. I held the assistant senior patrol leader position, but I also participated in this program called NYLT, which is National Youth Leadership Training. And I went back and I was a part of their staff for 2 years after.
Wow. Very nice.
And I just feel like a lot of the things that I learned in that program made teaching a much easier position for me, because we have to practice public speaking. You have to practice being adaptable. You have to practice servant leadership, where you're leading by example. And I just feel like that's so important, because that's all the things that I'm doing in the classroom. I'm public speaking. I have to lead by example. So I can't make a set of rules for my students that I'm not going to abide by myself.
Absolutely.
So I would say that a lot of the different aspects from my childhood and adolescent years has helped shape how I am a teacher, and has honestly just given me the opportunity to practice everything that I learned from everything I've learned from leadership through teaching.
Yeah, because you guys don't just sell cookies.
We don't. We don't.
All right.
We sell popcorn, actually.
Oh, you guys do popcorn?
We do
the girls
popcorn.
do cookies.
Cookies.
Those cookies.
No, they're good.
It's a hard no for me, because I'm like, I just can't.
I could use a
then I eat
Samoa right
all the
now.
boxes.
Yeah, the
at
whole
one time.
sleeve.
I'm like, I'm just gonna eat this one.
I just want one,
roll.
and then I'm like,
And
another
then it's
one.
Like, then the box is empty.
And another one,
you're
and
heading
another
back
one,
to the grocery
another
store,
one.
hoping that they're still out there.
And they're not.
I cannot be about that life.
They said season is over.
Right. I was like, where are the Girl Scouts? Goes well with ice cream.
It does.
Yeah, the struggle is real.